What is causing your friend to remain single that you don't have the heart to tell them? He keeps hanging on to the past and spending all his time hanging out with ex-girlfriends who are unavailable, or women who like him but he doesn't romantically like. I always wondered why she couldn't get a date because she is gorgeous, until I saw her flirting with someone. First night they met, flirted, swapped numbers. Then, immediately clingy. Talking in baby voice to him and making baby noises. He made a completely inoffensive comment which she found offensive, and threatened to slap him. Not shocking at all when he never called. I can smell them. Everyone can smell them. Horrid halitosis. It actually has been brought up before, but he never does anything about it. I'm fairly certain that he has gingivitis. His gums are blood red and bleed easily. I've told him he probably has gum disease, but he insisted that he has someone in the family who's a dentist and told him he doesn't have it. He really is not as nice of a person as he thinks he is. The people they like aren't real. They are idealized, cartoonish caricatures. Now my friend himself has a lot to offer Imo, but he is looking for a person that doesn't exist. Hard to find something that's not there. Brother-in-law, not friend. But he makes the same jokes about poop and farts all the time. Like, constantly. Yes, some women like potty humor, but they usually also want it to be funny. He is also very negative, finds insult or something wrong with any situation. Alcoholism. The type of guys she claims she likes isn't what she's actually attracted to. She keeps saying how much she loves shy, introverted, sensitive guys, but when she finds one and dates him suddenly, he's not outgoing enough, doesn't speak his mind enough, and is too shy. I kind of think she has this I can fix him syndrome and doesn't really acknowledge it. Like, she's attracted to the idea of a typical shy guy, but thinks once they're in a relationship, they'll suddenly be more open and turn into the guy she actually wants. That's not how it works. She is so lovely. So kind, so generous, and so beautiful. But her crippling lack of self-esteem is so huge it's visible from space, and her anxiety, and I'm 99% sure her undiagnosed ADHD, means that when she's at all nervous she talks at 100 miles an hour in several directions at once. It's like being handed 8 happy Labrador puppies to try and hold in your arms. I so badly want her to be happy and feel fulfilled, but even I find it tiring sometimes. They talk way too much. Even during texting, my friend is sending paragraphs to women he just met. I really need to hear what my friends would say about me. Summarizing 2 types of my single friends: super successful, smart, funny, and good looking. They also tend to go for folks who leave them on read for days. Their insecurities are their worst enemies and I think is the biggest factor of them chasing after partners who don't want to be partners. Other friends don't know how to commit to anything, including a job. It almost feels like a "it'll happen when it happens" type of ideology, and so they don't even try to make things happen. They act like things will happen on their own. So they'll meet a person and then that's it. Meet cute, dead in the water. Desperation. From laughing way too hard at mediocre jokes to bringing up marriage on the first date, she reeks of it. We have all tried talking to her about it to no avail. The sad thing is that if she was just her regular funny, smart, relaxed self, then men would be falling over themselves trying to get her number. Her standards are excessively too high. She brings nothing to a relationship. She's a walking contradiction, all of which is why she is single. I think it's great to have standards and high standards, but hers is just a checklist of wants. He's convinced women won't like him because he's short. I keep telling him I know plenty of guys just as short as him in great relationships. I've dated guys as short as him in the past. He just refuses to believe it. It's not his height. It's his obsession with it. He is needy and clingy. Also, he moves around a lot and has been in college for the last 15 years. There is a lot going on. She has a long way to go in therapy before she'll be able to maintain a healthy long-term relationship. If I did mention it, I'd be attacking her and gaslighting, so I'll let her work on her more pressing mental health issues for now. Overly loud and party boyish at age 45. She's a beautiful girl, like seriously one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in real life, but she needs constant validation. No man on the planet can give her the validation she requires. She's really overdue for growing up and learning to self-reflect. She really needs to finally grow and allow herself to change. She's pretty, she's funny, she's a great time to go out with. Never a dull moment. She's also not changed much at all since we were teens. She is a mess. Doesn't clean, doesn't cook, can't hold down a job, paycheck to paycheck, prioritizes a good time over everything else, extremely unstable overall. No accountability for how her actions affect her own life and especially the lives of others. Somehow still has high expectations of her potential partners, but she doesn't bring much to the table and doesn't seem to ever hold herself to the same standards or rules. Sometimes you really do need to slow down and get a grip on your mental health and your life in general first before actively seeking out relationships. I've watched her wreck so many people that had good intentions for her without ever even recognizing how she hurt them. She's too needy and clingy and doesn't bring much to the table, impulsive, alcoholic, body image issues. Even guys that are super into her run away after a few dates because of how needy she gets. She realizes it's something she's doing but doesn't understand why. She finally got into a long-term relationship with a great guy who was really into her but broke it off recently because she demanded they get engaged ASAP and would scream and break dishes due to how upset she was over it. Sad thing was he totally would have and he was great for her, but she can be difficult to handle. He is just too Catholic. He wants this perfect trophy girlfriend that has to be a virgin. The problem is that he also likes to drink too much alcohol and it's always his way or no way. The girls that he meets are not interested in him, had boyfriends in the past, don't like his lifestyle or ideologies of a relationship, he wants all the kids God provides. Lack of interests. He just is a boring person. He does some things that he started to sew when he was a kid. But just because it is something regular. Like playing tennis with his dad once a week. There is no development and you cannot get him to do anything he's not used to. Really anything. He has no stories to tell and basically no life. There is no way to connect to him and I am losing connection just because we cannot exchange about new things and we talked about the old stuff for 20 plus years now. He's just a kid getting older. I have a friend who constantly attaches herself to the worst men possible, gets treated like trash, and then reaches out to us for rescue. We tell her every time that the men she are seeing are horrible. Nice guys are always labeled as boring, or she finds an excuse not to be interested. He has dinner with his mother 2 to 3 times a week. I'm not dating a mama's boy, but the guy who ditched her at a concert twice? He's alright. At this point, I'm convinced she just likes being rescued. His standards are unrealistic. He's a 4 or 5 on a good day, but is only interested in women if they're an 8 or higher. He's also very overweight, but constantly points out women's weight on dating apps, and how it's a deal breaker if they look to be anything above a US 5. I didn't realize all of this was to such an extreme until myself and the rest of his friends' wives sat down and went through dating profiles of different women who liked his profile just for him to continuously criticize their appearance for such mundane reasons. We were trying to give him advice on how to talk to women, per his request, and it became blatantly obvious to all of us why he was struggling. It completely changed my opinion of him. She thinks she is the best, catch, education, height, natural beauty, job and her own money. However, there is nothing attractive about her and her personality, She doesn't dress up / spend on herself, talks highly about herself and her career, judges others, not just men but her own friends, on what they earn or how much money they have. I'm the single friend.